Hey, yo. One of my favorite things in the world is when things that I love or enjoy cross over in some form or fashion. I see a lot of that in music all the time. Like, for example, when a song that I really dig actually dug into the crates of a video game soundtrack that I actually dig. It's a whole lot of digging. That said, there's actually an example of one of my favorite artists being loosely tied to one of my favorite genres of television. Soap operas. And I say loosely associated with because the jury is still out on whether or not the song itself is inspired by an iconic soap character, if the song itself is actually a metaphor, or, as I would argue, somehow both. So, like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives. That's not actually the show that we're talking about, though. Because of my parents, I grew up watching the big three ABC soap operas: One Life to Live, General Hospital, which I've talked about extensively on this page, and All My Children. And when you're talking about All My Children, you cannot do so without mentioning the femme fatale of all femme fatales, Erica Kane, played by Emmy Award-winning actress Susan Lucci, who debuted as the character on January 16th, 1970. January 16th. That's a very important day, isn't it? Funny enough, the debut of Erica Kane also shares a day with my mom, who was born January 16th of 1971. And my mom is in part the reason why I even got into soap operas in the first place. Erica Kane is a character who is best associated with, or rather the quintessential exemplification of the femme fatale archetype. Although there's much more that goes into her character than just that. Without going too deep into the history and the timeline of Erica Kane's character, to sum it all up, Erica Kane is a character who since the age of 15 ran through men and chased glamour and fame to cope with her deep-seated abandonment issues, as well as other traumas that would unravel as the years go on. Oh, and she's committed about 28 slaps over the course of the show's 50-year run. I don't know about you, but that's a crazy stat. And while the show has been off the air since 2011, Erica Kane is still ingrained in the minds of many of us who watched, and her character is still immortalized outside of soaps. Mattel featured an Erica Kane doll as part of their daytime drama collection, and she's been the inspiration for 3 songs. One by the alternative rock band Urge Overkill, another one by the R&B group B5, and, well, you see the shirt that I'm wearing. Enter the late and iconic Aaliyah Dana Houghton. Now, I grew up listening to and absolutely adoring Aaliyah. To me, she was everything, and she could have been so much more had it not been for 320 kilograms. Aaliyah was killed in a plane crash August 25th of 2001, just over a month after the release of her 3rd studio album, the self-titled Red Album. December of 2002 saw the release of I Care For You, a compilation album comprised of some of Aaliyah's album hits as well as some unreleased tracks. On that album was an unreleased song recorded during the sessions of the Red Album called, you guessed it, Erica Kane. Now, I don't know about you, but at first, I thought it was kind of random that Aaliyah would even have a song named after an iconic soap opera character whose characteristics, quite frankly, don't really run with the image that we knew of Aaliyah. But it's one of those crossover things that I absolutely love and enjoy, so needless to say, it's one of my favorite songs of hers. Although according to the producers of the song, Digital Black and Rapture, the song was A, not even supposed to be for Aaliyah. Static Major had wrote that song for a group called Playa, and B, not even really about the iconic soap character. Which, I mean, how could it not be? The song is called Erica Kane. The lyrics of the song describes a woman who fits the description of the character and her capabilities.
She's back on the streets, a fiend for the night. Make you do things that no others could do. She turn a professor into a fool. Those that she met, they're destined to drown. She'll make a change like you never believe. She'll turn a working man into a thief. Oh, she'll be your friend as long as you spin. I know she's torn whole families apart. She'll shoot a poison arrow straight through your heart. She'll make an honest man steal from his folks and drain a millionaire until he go broke. Oh.
And well, Erica Kane and Aaliyah share a day, January 16th. There's that day again. But in fact, the song was supposed to be a double entendre of sorts, actually being about the disco booger sugar, which is even funnier because Erica Kane owned a disco. Now, as stated by Digital Black and Rapture, Aaliyah actually wanted to record this song because she felt that it needed to be heard, which not only would have been a good look for her had she released it given her status at the time, but it was a great indicator as to where her mind was at during the sessions for the Red Album. Recording songs that are darker and edgier in tone, touching on stuff like emotional and physical abuse in relationships. And to Static Major's credit as a songwriter, it's quite brilliant that he wrote the lyrics to describe both a woman whose characteristics match that of the song's namesake, as well as the intended subject matter. Did I just describe a metaphor? So it would leave listeners questioning whether or not the song is about Erica Kane, cocaine, or both. Both is very much allowed. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this breakdown. Be sure to follow... Be sure to follow... Fine, I'll address it. But But there's something that is incredibly and ironically haunting about this song, and I hate to end this video on a downer, but I can't ignore it. This song, named after an iconic soap character whose debut shares a day with the artist who sings it, carries the subtext of being about cocaine. Cocaine is a drug that, as alluded to in the song, has damaging effects, including the impairment of one's judgment and decision-making skills. And it's quite eerie knowing that Aaliyah recorded this song because she felt that it was important to get it out there. It was important for her audience to be warned of the harms and the effects of the drug, while traces of that same drug were found in the pilot of the plane that she died on. And while it wasn't the only factor in what happened that afternoon of August 25, 2001, it is still a compounded contribution that adds a heavy layer as to why Aaliyah recording this song was important. Sad how life works, isn't it?